We just finished shooting a video on how to maximize every penny when you're buying chicken and working with it. And at the very end, I was talking about making dirty rice, and I was interrupted, if you watched that video, by a little person over here who wanted me to clarify that if you make dirty rice, you don't really put dirt in it because that'd be nasty. What we are going to do, however, is make dirty rice with some of my favorite things, which are chicken livers and sausage. Can't get much better than that. Alright, so we're actually going to move over here to the stove and show you about a week and a half ago what the Trinity is when you're cooking. And this is all it is. Bell pepper, onion, and celery. And roughly, I mean, you know, don't get crazy about it, you want about twice as much onion as you do the other stuff. And I'm putting some butter in my pan. We're going to saute off these vegetables. And we're going to give these just a few minutes, and then we're going to go over here and talk about some other stuff. So everybody goes in here. We're going to let these cook. It's about 2-3 cloves of minced garlic. I haven't seen that in many other recipes, but I like it in mine. This is my kitchen, so I can do what I want to do. It's really, really good. Alright, so we're going to let this just do its little thing. Alright, over there in my rice cooker, I've got about 8 cups of rice. Now, I won't use all of it for the dirty rice. I'll probably use a little more than half, but that's sitting there waiting on me. This is a great way to get rice in the diet, and I love to do this with leftover rice. It's not quite as fluffy, but it's still delicious. Okay, now to get ready for this, this is all that it takes. I mean, this is super, super easy. This is about a pound of just plain old breakfast sausage that I browned off, crumbled up, and there it sits. Just the stuff in the tube, okay? You can get fancy if you want to. Use smoked sausage or andouille or whatever you happen to find that is fabulous, that works. But when I do this, I'm doing it really, really quickly. I like this plain old breakfast sausage. Now, this, if you're cleaning out your chickens, you get those funky little packets. This is one of the things that you can do with them. Throw the giblets into a saucepan and cover it with water, bring it to a simmer, and give it about, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes. I then drained it, let it cool off, and I threw it in the food processor. I got this really fine diced, see the texture? It's just like the sausage. Now this is actually the giblets from about 4 chickens. I chopped everything all together. If you don't have a food processor or don't want to deal with it, then you don't have to. Just mince it up really, really finely. Okay, so we're checking on our veggies. We're going to give these about 10 minutes just to get nice and tender. You actually are going to stop cooking this when the veggies come off. So whatever doneness you like your vegetables, that's where you want them to at this point. Okay, so it's going to go mixed with the warm rice. Alright, we're going to let this have its little party in this pan, and we'll be back in just a few minutes, and I'll show you how super easy it is to throw it all together on the next step. We have our vegetables sauteed off. Not entirely sure how long it took. You know, if you have a question, taste it. If it tastes good to you, it's going to taste good to everybody else, so do that. Now, one thing I did notice is that mine needed a little salt and a little pepper. Another thing, always taste your food before you put it out to your family and friends. And they're my guinea pigs anyway, but I don't do it to them more often than I have to. Alright then, right before we take it off the heat, those are the minced up giblets that we have from our chickens. And traditionally, that's the part that makes it dirty rice. You'll see in a minute about the color. Alright, and then our sausage. This is really just to warm it through because we're going to take it to the table pretty quick. There we go. Alright. Off the heat. We're coming back over here. Just like when you're making dressing or stuffing, give yourself a really big bowl to work with. It makes it a lot easier. So I've got about 6 cups of rice in here. And when I did my rice, I used the chicken broth that we got from, cut up a whole bunch of chickens yesterday. Stored them, and I used the leftover bits and pieces to make chicken broth. So I used that to steam off my rice. And at this point, this is all you have to do. I think this is so pretty. I don't know why, I mean, yeah, I know why they call it dirty rice, but it's so pretty dirty. And that is just about all there is to it. One final thing, make sure we don't have clumps. You don't have to have fluffy rice. And if you're using up leftovers, knock yourself out. Nobody's going to care. Really, I promise. Okay, last thing. Never feed anything to anybody. No, that's good. Nope. Now, you do not have to make this stuff by the bathtub full like I do. Certainly make smaller batches if you don't feed as many people as I do. But this makes, I don't know, I almost think of this as the Cajun Creole version of fried rice. You can almost have a main dish of this just by itself because it's absolutely beautiful. Now, traditionally, you can use green bell peppers. I happen to have the orange ones. They're delicious and a little more sweet. Isn't that pretty? I've got a big old crusty loaf of bread over here and a baby salad in the fridge. So I think it's lunchtime.